Are we gonna skip?
It's time for Candid Conversation. Conversation with Lady T and JT. It's time for Candid Conversation. Conversation with Lady T and JT. Check out the show. Check it out. It's time for Candid Conversation. Conversation with Lady T and JT. It's time for Candid Conversation. Conversation with Lady T and JT. Check out the show. Check it out.
Well, good evening. Can you hear me? Am I live?
Yes.
Am I on? Good
You are
evening,
on, girl.
You can hear me, girl. All right. Well, good evening and welcome to Oak. I am your girl, Lady T, and I have with me our girl, JT. Can you hear me?
Yes, Lady T, I hear you loud and clear. And listen, Candid Conversation family, we are so excited to be back with you this week. Listen, there's been a lot going on since we last saw you. Lady T just celebrated a birthday. She's 25 with some experience. Happy birthday, girl.
Praise God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, I did. And Janet, I appreciate the love. I appreciate seeing another year, right? I mean, we all are grateful. We can all account and attest to that. Y'all got to give me a minute. It's been a challenge. I'm going to come back to that. But yes, I celebrated a birthday after some very scary health issues, right? And a lot of other things going on, just like everybody else. But you have to think. When I said that we live, Jay, not to go back again, but when I think about the time they said, "Oh, you had a heart attack," I'm like, I was eating the Nutty Buddy. So you know what I'm saying? When I think about that, I'm like, a heart attack, and how many people don't survive, a heart attack? Or then you turn around later and you have blood clots. I'm walking around, I'm at Target doing what I do, and doctor told me, like, you need to report immediately. You have blood clots in both lungs. So that's a different animal, because I've had friends that passed with just one clot. We know what one clot can do. Listen, I'm telling you, not that plus life, and you all can get it. I'm just grateful. Grateful. I'm celebrating not just that day, but every day, because God is good. And so when you do celebrate and you got people that show you love, that means so much, right? Guess what? Everybody was calling me, "What you doing on your birthday?" Girl, stop me from talking too much. You got me started. See, I told you don't talk about your birthday. They said, "What you doing on your birthday?" I said, I don't really have any plans. And I did nothing on my birthday, guys. Nothing on that day. But, a little later in the week, I was told to show up. Cameraman just came in with some lights. Excuse me. I, I was told to show up in a location. I showed up in a location. So I was shown love. I'm grateful, 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 grateful. And to all those that called and asked and, wish me a happy birthday. Thank you, Queen, girl. I was so grateful to have had the opportunity to hang out with my friend Quita and her aunt and I think mother.
Yes.
Anyway, hung out with them at our women's weekend, JT, which was my birthday weekend every year. Yes. But this year, I couldn't really celebrate it anymore. Anyway, Quita and her family was that to say we had such a good time. You were there. It was an amazing, amazing weekend. But anyway, enough about us, enough about me. But girl, go ahead. I digress.
No. Not enough about you, because what's
Okay,
real
then.
is,
Listen. Okay, let me tell y'all this.
Lady T.
If you're watching us on Facebook, can you see this number here? Can you see that?
Yeah. I love that. Oh, I love that.
Mother Julia, honey. Oh, girl, hold on. I see. That's what I get. I'm rushing, and I'm like, I'm gonna put this piece on that my mama bought me for my birthday, girl. Because this piece is fabulous, right? It don't match what I got on. But listen, ladies, you assess. Okay, am I supposed to put? But y'all accessorize like you want to.
It's okay.
I
You're
posted
fabulous.
this week, Janet.
You're fabulous.
This week. I had a dress on that I worn 3 times in the last 2 years, but still, like y'all know, it ain't. Y'all wear the clothes. Clothes don't wear you.
And in that order.
Right? Okay. But anyway.
But listen, we're not getting ready to, good evening, Janelle. But listen, we're not getting ready to gloss over your birthday. Lady T, you are loved by so many people because you do things that go unnoticed. I mean, that, excuse me, that go unadvertised, but they are
Mm.
certainly noticed.
Oh,
And, you know,
yeah.
people want to show you love because you show so many people love. So, you know, it's an honor to be able to celebrate your birthday. You know, you've been very transparent about, your what the doctor said was a heart attack, and
Right.
how they diagnosed subsequently some blood clots. But girl, it's a blessing that you don't look like what you've been through. You look absolutely fabulous, girl. Waist is little, cheekbones
Oh,
showing, heart getting
you know
stronger,
what,
no
girl,
blood clots. So we
girl, you getting
tell
the
what?
raise.
Lord, thank you. Okay.
You better pour it on thick, Jay. But thank you, girl. Praise God. I'm telling you. And people always like, oh, girl, you lose weight. You this, you that. I'm listen, on purpose, intentionally. I'm trying. So I appreciate the encouragement. And I know this place ain't little, but it ain't what it used to be. We get there. And listen, and you as well. But we're not going to go. We're not going to do that because I know we came on to talk our talk, Jay. I'm going to get you back. But yeah, you're all that as well. And I appreciate your friendship. Thank you, Janelle. I appreciate your friendship, Janet, and your loyalty and consistency. Listen, if you get one or two Janets in your life, you're blessed. I'm telling you. And those that know, they already know, right? She
Aw.
did it. And then some. She just has this heart of gold. She's gonna do for you. She's gonna make it happen. And I appreciate it. And I ain't gonna get on. I'm gonna do like Oh, never mind. Say
I can't with her. Somebody come get her right now.
that. You should have never. Oh, okay. Can we stop a minute? Real life Barbie. That's right, Janelle. Real life Barbie doll. I think Keisha White calls her that too. And let me tell you, since we're talking ladies, because listen, if you got somebody that is beautiful on the outside and beautiful on the inside, there's listen, that's you, JT. To so
Aw,
many people. So I thank God for you and your friendship. Yeah, she's a
I
Barbie doll, but
appreciate
she ain't just walking around being cute. She is carrying an anointing. She's doing her thing. But all right, Jay. But ladies and gentlemen, we've been gone. We back like we never left. But we're so looking forward to our guests who are coming next week, who was supposed to come today. We are so looking forward to this couple, y'all. Y'all are gonna love them. So go ahead and set your
love
clocks now. I'm
them.
gonna go ahead and tell you, put it in your calendar. China and Stefan. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying no more, no less. I'm gonna leave that there. Let them y'all figure it out.
Girl, let me put a little sugar on top.
Okay.
Listen, this is a real life love story. These two
Yes.
people, young people, have been together, I think, since basically half their life. And
Yeah.
we've seen them navigate ministry, navigate their life, navigate raising their amazing, anointed, spirited son, SJ. We
Yes.
love us some China and Stefan, and he is one of the best musicians that you will ever meet. Yes, Janelle, the Godwins are the business. And so when we interview them next week, oh my goodness, it's going to be a whole vibe, and we are ready for them, okay? Because not y'all, she don't sing. She's like a mix of, and I say this with love. She's got a little Jill Scott. She got a little Jasmine Sullivan, but she's all China, honey, and we are here
All
for it.
China.
Ain't nobody out singing them. I'm just saying.
Not many, not many. The
Not
girls
many.
just bad, just bad. I love them.
Hold
I
on,
love them.
T.
I'm
T, what's
sorry.
that scripture? Many are called, but few
You
are
are
chosen. That chick
you
is chosen. Her husband is
chosen.
too. He is too.
Yeah,
He
the
is
both
too. He is
are
too.
the
He is too.
powerhouse, power couples. And I just love to see couples that are in marriages and that are transparent about the struggles, you know what I'm saying, of
Yeah.
being married and being married to a musician. And ooh, child, we gonna talk. And I'll be like, when I ask people to come on the show, I say, let me know what I can't ask. That's all I'm saying. You just tell me pre-show because if I don't stop asking, I love it when they say, ask me whatever. Okay. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. I hope you all are too. Janelle said definitely will be tuning in, and she can sing. Yes, girl. Let's see. I wonder can we get her to do a little something, something maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Listen.
She's watching. Go ahead and
Hopefully,
pray about that China.
yeah, pray about that girl because you never know what door might open. And all I'm saying is when y'all hear her one time, you are going to want to book her. Just saying.
This Just saying. Yes, so I'm looking forward to that. And then we also have a couple of exciting new guests coming on. So, anywho, but what we're talking about on today, JT, we were having a conversation, y'all, about controllables. I think that's how we
Yeah.
kind of talked about, right? And what do we
Yeah.
mean, Jay, when we say that? What do you mean by that?
So a few weeks ago we had a show about legacy, and on our show about legacy we were talking about what is it that you want to be remembered for. And so we talked about the different things that people want to be remembered for, and to a degree it is your brand. What are you known for? Like you, Lady T, you're known for being a giver. You're known for loving people and meeting them where they are. There is never any judgment. You try to make people better. That's kind of that's go. I believe that that's in part, and you're also a multipreneur. So, I think in part, as well as being an amazing mother and sister and auntie and friend, my daughter
Mhm.
affectionately calls her Aunt T because she's auntie. So,
Okay.
those are all of the things that would be known about your legacy. But
Yeah.
when we talk about controlling the controllables, there comes a point in our life where there are things that happen that are outside of our control. So, earlier this week, we saw that millions of Americans were impacted by their SNAP benefits being reduced. At first, being told that on November 1st, they weren't getting anything. And so that is an
Any.
uncontrollable. What we can control is our response. You got people on YouTube talking about
Right.
they're going to go, and if they can't get it, they're going to rob the store, and making
Yep, that's
content
right. That's what they're saying.
that was ignorant. And you know who it was that was trying to do it for likes, clicks, and shares. And by the way, y'all need to like our show. Y'all need to hit that like button and comment, because y'all are our guests today. We need you to get in these
That's right.
comments. But
That's true.
but
That's true.
and please like it, like for real though. Like, please like. I'm asking for
Like,
a friend.
even
But
when you go back and revisit the show, like it, right? Remember? Yeah. Like it. Please.
so
Thank
it's
you.
like, we see all these content, these people making, and it's content creation, guys. When you
That's
get
it.
on YouTube with your whole face and your handle talking about if they don't give you your SNAP benefits, you're going to rob the store or whatever. Ignorant. And
Yes,
of course, the face of the people saying this, they look like mine.
they
However,
do.
SNAP, the overwhelming majority of people who get SNAP benefits don't look like me. So we'll let that land.
Don't look like us. Exactly. But
No, but
but that video would make you think that all of us were just affected by this, right? Go ahead, Jay. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm
And
sorry.
it didn't help that on Newsmax earlier this week, a very ignorant
Mhm.
politician said, I see people getting their weaves done and their nails done, but they're fussing about SNAP benefits. And I'm like, oh, sir, 82% of the people who are on SNAP don't have a weave and they don't get their
Don't
nails
even wait.
done. So don't do that.
Thank you. What they say, click, click, or whatever. Don't do
Whatever.
that.
Yeah, don't do
Don't do
that,
that.
right? We're not doing that. And that's not
Right.
shaming, and that's not
No,
shaming T people who
no,
need the benefit, because for the most part, it is the disabled, the elderly, and people who have children, right?
right.
So overwhelmingly, the majority, though, that is who the majority of the people who get those benefits who are impacted. But the
Mhm.
controllable is we can't get ignorant and think that the government owes us food benefits. The government doesn't owe you anything. We pay
Ooh,
taxes. We they give us free education. Well, it's not even free. Our tax dollars are paying for
paying for
education,
the
right?
education. Right.
But a SNAP benefit is not a right, guys. So you can't say you're going to go and rob a store. You can try to go rob that store. And when they lock you up, right, you're not going to get a pass because the government didn't give you a SNAP benefit. The government can owe you money. They will not pay it back to you with interest. If you owe the government money, they put this thing called penalties and fees and
That's
interest
right.
on it. So it's two
That's
sets
right.
of rules, right? So I just want to encourage people to just kind of think about controlling the controllables. Stuff
Yes.
happens that's outside of our control, but we can control our response. So some of the videos I've seen on YouTube and Instagram, they were a little
Mhm.
ratchet, and I think it was
Really?
completely out of order.
Mm. 40. Janelle said 42 million are currently without SNAP benefits. So they didn't do. Did they do the 50% thing
Yeah,
with them? Like,
I read that the government was going to partially fund it and give SNAP recipients 50% of what they would have normally gotten.
well, that would be helpful. It would be
That was
nice.
definitely
I
helpful.
mean, that's more to say about the ones that are actually getting up going to work every day who can't get paid. You
Let's
understand
go
what I'm
there.
saying? Like they're getting up every day. I mean, I'm not knocking it, but I think sometimes you use the system, get on your feet and do better. You don't use it as a source of retirement or, and then training your children to do the same thing. I literally had somebody tell me that they were telling their 5-year-old daughter that literally when she was yeah, she was telling her 5-year-old daughter that she's gonna show her how to use the system, how to get pregnant, how to have a baby, and for a backup plan, meaning, she could always use the system. It's just, government it's not I don't know, I think it's just we were set up or things were set up into a way that made people get comfortable on the system maybe. Am I saying that correctly? You know what I'm saying? I think it started way before us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Generationally, there's some things that systemically need to be broken. Different communities who traditionally are marginalized or suppressed, like the Native Americans,
Yes.
they deal with a high degree of alcoholism. And the reason for that was when their land was taken and then they were appropriated land, you get them addicted. And then they have a very low again, looking at statistics, the
Mhm.
graduation rate from high school is low, high crime in these areas, and they were given land. For those of us who were not given our 40 acres in a mule,
Right.
we've had to hustle on a totally different level. But all I'm saying is don't make me the face of your SNAP benefits, because the data says that the overwhelming majority of the people who get SNAP benefits are not Black women.
Mm.
That's all. That's it, and that's
That's what the
all. So
numbers
keep the
say. That's
comment
what the
about your
numbers say.
weaving your nails to yourself, right? And
Right.
check your data. It's the government's data. Check your data.
Check the government's data. Correct, correct. Janelle said, "No, they are not now." I don't know what part that was. Maybe she meant about the, giving them 50% of the, SNAP
Yes.
benefit.
And she's saying
Literally violate.
they're literally violating the court orders. That is
Mm,
unfortunate. And
very.
remember, the opinions represented on this show are just that. It's an opinion. We will encourage you to put yours in the comments so we can talk about it. We're just having a conversation.
It's just a conversation. It's just a little candid conversation. That's it and that's all. And these are opinions, so we gonna be nice and, that's how we gonna roll. But, I agree with everything that has been said thus far. And, I don't think it's a bad idea for people to work either, that can work, those that are in there. And that's black, white, purple, green, or blue, because it's not fair the taxes that are put on certain people for certain things. It's even, consider wanting to do a business, you got to be prepared because the taxes are out there. It's almost like they want run you away from doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's not fair. We have to
Yes.
come out of our pocket with all these tax dollars and, you know, other people, you know, get the benefit, and they're just as healthy in some cases. Janelle
Yeah.
said correct. All
Yeah.
right, Jay, we're gonna leave that one alone. Did
Well,
you
we'll
have
leave the
something to say?
SNAP benefit alone, right? But again,
Yes.
I just wanted to, add my little 2 cents on the conversation, since I didn't open the door. I just peeked through it and said what I said and 10 toes
It's
down on it. I'm not the 80. Listen, keep the weaving the nails to yourself. And it ain't because I got it, because I do have it. But what I'm saying is I also got it, right? I'm not, so you're not funding nothing. So we'll leave that alone. Yeah.
that's
Anywho,
it, and that's all.
so
Speaking of, girl, I was
controlling the
okay.
controllables.
What you say?
I said
What you
controlling the
say, Janet?
controllables.
Control of the. That's right. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, my hair was wet when I got on here. Anyway, that's right. We're gonna talk about that. But also, you had mentioned earlier that leaving something about leaving legacies to our kids. We want to prepare for them to the best of our ability. I forgot what we were discussing. I want to talk about that. And
Girl, we were talking about, now, y'all. We had a whole conversation for 30
yeah,
minutes before we got on the
yeah,
show.
we did. We had to switch gears. We had to switch. That's what you do.
Yeah, because I was on one today. But but what we were talking about is when we think about our legacy, right?
Yes.
And we think about, trying to put things up for our children. The American dream used to be you get one job, you work that one job for 30 years, and you buy a house within that time. So you work long enough to pay off your house, and you work
Right.
maybe just a little bit longer so that your 401k or your pension is at a certain level, and then you retire and you enjoy your golden years. But you're putting something up to leave something for your children. That's typically what people think when they think about legacy. And so
Yes.
part of the controlling the controllables is what happens when twofold millions of or hundreds of thousands or thousands of federal workers have not
Hmm.
gotten paid in going on 2 months,
That's right.
because the government decided that they wanted to shut down and they forgot about the people who provide constituent services. So they just decided not to pay them, right? And we think about earlier this year, people were forced into early retirement. And so they had an option. You do early retirement with the federal government, or
Hmm.
you could possibly get laid off. So it started with the federal government earlier this year. Last week, hundreds of thousands of Americans lost their job and nobody is talking about it. And they say it's because of AI. That's what everybody's falling back on. AI is the reason why hundreds of thousands of Americans lost their job because of AI.
My
You can
gosh.
control
Don't
that.
say that. Is that real? Okay, so this thing is for real. I had called a number today, like where usually be the person answering the phone, and a secretary used to be there. Okay, then they placed it with that recording where we got to hit all these numbers 1,000 times. Well, I called a very well known business, and I got an AI. She let me know. She said, "I'm Stephanie, your AI person. She's gonna send me." She did everything that a person would have. Even when I'm speaking to her, just like I'm talking to you, Jay. She sent me an email, sent me a text. I said, "Oh my gosh, those, there, those are gone. Jobs are gone, y'all, for leaving.
Gone. They're not in
Seriously,
India. They're gone.
gone. What in the
And
world?
it
What do
happened
you do?"
overnight. It happened overnight, T.
Yes, literally. We didn't see it coming. Well, we saw it coming. We didn't see it coming that fast. Like it just right.
Right,
Okay.
right,
I'm so
right.
passionate about it because it's just gotta trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Thank you, Miss Tiffany. Let me just stop for a minute and say thank you, Tiffany, for the birthday greetings. Miss Tiffany Blakely is for someone special too, JT. My mom was with her during that same Women's Weekend, and Tiffany made sure she was treated for VIP just like she was. Because guess what? Tiffany celebrated her birthday as well. Tiffany's birthday was the 25th, I think, 2 days before mine. So happy belated birthday to you as well, Miss Tiffany. Thank you, Teresa. Thank y'all so much for birthday love. I'm just blessed, like you all. I'm just blessed to be here. I'm just blessed to be loved, y'all. I'm telling you, let me tell y'all something right quick, girl. Let me tell y'all something right quick. Okay, gosh, please pin where we were at. Y'all, we having girl talk. This is Candid Conversation. This is what we're doing today, okay? But so pin where we at. But listen, y'all, I got so many beautiful cards. But let me just show y'all this one card. I feel like I'm like so special. And if you're on the radio, you can't see this. You might need to go ahead and find us on Facebook.
We can
Girl,
see it
I
a
want to
little bit,
show my
Lady T.
cards
We can
so
see it a
bad.
little
I
bit.
can't even get it to show on the camera. Here we go. Here we go. We get there. Baby, I don't know if y'all can see that. I ain't gonna tell y'all who personalized and customized this beautiful card for me. I'm trying to get. I'm gonna hold it right there. But
It's
honey, I thought,
gorgeous.
girl, you can't tell me I'm not bad. So anyway, that y'all know if you know, you know who did this card for me. If you do, you can put her name in the comments section. Because it's so cute. I mean, I had to give it a little something to work with, but it's so cute, baby. All of them are cute. Oh, anyway, hi, Tasha. Good evening, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's T's birthday season, so anything goes. And I'm so grateful for cards. Sometimes y'all, it's just thought. It really is a thought to count all the time, for real, for real. So I be feeling so bad for people to be like, girl, if ain't nothing, I don't want it. I said, that's the devil. I keep my
Yeah.
cards. I will show you I have my cards. I love my cards and I read them all. So thank you all for cards and comments and everything that I can't respond to. appreciate it. And I got on this I mean, the necklace is beautiful, just doesn't match my army fatigue. And I got army fatigue because I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. But I just had to show everyone this beautiful piece that my mom bought me. It's so lovely, isn't it? Yeah. You see it, JT?
I can
I'm gonna
see it.
let
And
you guys.
Tanisha, you're fly. You're a jewel. So the necklace matches the camouflage. You are right.
You think so, girl? Thank you,
I
baby.
do.
But
I think so.
we love you too, Tim. We love you too. But anyway, to your point, getting back to where we were. Where were we anyway? John? I said put a pin in it.
Girl. Oh, we were talking about controlling the controllables, right? So it's like, so
80%.
people lost their jobs, people aren't getting SNAP benefits. We got to shift our mentality of thinking somebody owes us something because the world
Yes.
is showing you that they don't. They will flip on you in a minute. And so we got to be prepared. Now, listen, y'all know Janet has a little bit of conspiracy theorist in her. I cannot help it. It's how I am
Yes, we
wired.
do. Yes, we do. Go ahead. Make your point.
And and so,
Mhm.
we're hearing about, you heard about something that is coming, that we need to be prepared for, where we need to get our water, and we need to have months of food. And I was talking to one of my girlfriends today, and she said, girl, most people who get SNAP benefits in particular, they got a freezer full of food. So if they don't get no SNAP benefit this month, they're good until they come back. And I'm thinking, that's part of controlling the controllables. You make sure that as long as you're able to benefit on this stuff, your
Yes.
freezer is stocked, your canned goods are stocked, your water is stocked. Not we're just balling out and we're eating filet mignon. And I'm not dismissing that, because I'm not saying some people really need those benefits. They're feeding
Yes.
children, they're paying bills by themselves. So I'm not marginalizing that. So
Elderly.
let me be super clear. But if you're selling them to pay a bill, then guess what? They coming for you, because you need to get that man out your house that ain't working, and you need to put him to work. Because I'm sick of y'all putting a demand on other people. You don't put on the man who you pulling covers with. I'm over it.
Oh,
I'm
right.
over it.
Because I put my text out. Listen, I'm upset anyway. Because point made. Exactly. We're over it. Over it. Timmy said, yes, get your necessities. Store it up. Store it up. Yes, yes. And that's you're right, Jenny. That went left real quick, girl. You was so calm. You was like, I'm girl, it honey. We felt that though. And I'm really
I
get
mean,
that
but
so
y'all,
up
come
and
on,
out of
put
there.
it. T, I gotta ask them. Put it in the comments, and we're gonna go down this rabbit hole. But I promise, like Bugs Bunny, we're gonna come right out of, or the Roadrunner. That's probably a better one. But aren't y'all sick of people
Okay,
putting
let's
a
do it.
demand on you that they don't put on their significant other? You want me to give you money to pay your bills, but you got a husband. Well, where your husband at? Where your boyfriend at? Where your
Hello.
baby daddy at? Call him.
And it's hard to try to loan somebody something when they got a whole husband, or you know what I'm saying? That don't
Or
even
a live-in
right.
partner that's acting like a
Right.
husband, except for when he don't want to pay, you don't make him pay, but you call everybody asking them to pay.
Mm-mm.
Donald Trump need to reform that. Hook that up, Trump. You wanna reform the government and cut off people's benefits? Cut that off.
I can't. Oh boy. Yes. Girl, you are funny. But
They
I get
gonna
it. I
unfriend
get
me. I
it.
don't
It's
care.
true. It's facts, Jay. You definitely. Yes. So Trump, yeah. That. Girl, that is hilarious.
I'm
Hilarious.
just saying.
But to your point, Tiffany, yeah, I think it's wise to stock up. I really do. Don't get afraid and go run around, scared, because we don't want to be bad. We don't get frantic, but just to be prepared. I think that's very wise. And sometimes people don't believe it. They have to see the smoke, then know that see the fire when they can see the smoke. We see smoke now, so we know, regardless of what happens, get your non-perishables. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to include for the show, since we're talking about it, those government employees that are laid off, and people who may need sources to know where some food is, or there are some people that really will need some help right now, being laid off, right? If you all know of any place, please put it in the comments that are doing things for families. I do post it on I drop it into my stories sometimes, but I want to put it in the comments because we'll know. You may know somebody that really might need food or need some some help right now. And there are the rescue mission, I think, in Durham. There's places that are helping people that need it. Because that's another thing, JT. Some people get it and don't really need it. Never didn't need it, but they get it. Take advantage of the system. So I get it. I get it.
Well,
Sis.
we have a comment.
Uh-huh.
Tiffany writes, there are too many women that go on social media bragging that they have 6 kids by 5 different baby daddies, and this needs to be addressed. Some of us pay quite a bit in taxes, and this isn't fair to anyone. She's right. She's right.
Yes, she is.
She's right. And again, everybody's situation is different. There is no judgment if you got caught up, 6 times with 5 different men, or you got 3 baby daddies. Listen, people get caught up, right? Stuff happens. But this is the deal. At some point, you got to control the controllables. Thank God you had the baby, but at some point you got to pivot how you moving, because you don't want to show your kids that example. They need to see some stability. They need to see healthy relationships. We need to be
Yes.
investing in education so that they can be better, and they can have more.
Absolutely. So to Tiffany's point, it hurts. It's a sting when someone who doesn't have a child in the world, you know what I'm saying, and you have to come out you because you want to run a business or something, and you have to pay like double taxes, pay your taxes, her taxes, and then those taxes. It's just not it's not fair. So to your yeah. And it's happening, y'all, and it's still happening. People still having multiples. I have an ex-employee who just had her eighth baby. Eighth. Eighth
Is
in
she
this
married?
climate. Ma'am?
Is she married?
No. Eight
Oh,
children. Um, in this climate, not married, no. One just turned, not even one yet, because she just had one last year. So I guess they'll be Irish, whatever, baby, because she just turning one. So anywho, eight. So anyway, people are having them. No judgment here, but no husband. No
I,
husband, then government. Because she ain't all right. So yeah.
yeah. I think you can have as many children as you can afford to feed.
Yes. As many as you can afford. As many as you can afford. So Tiffany said all these groceries is offering Thanksgiving meal at a discount, includes a lot of food options for $40.
That's
That's
awesome.
good. I heard something recently about somewhere else that was doing that. Well, I think Amazon and Walmart, I think. Look into that, y'all. It's something about um $40 a feed a family of 10 and something like that. Yeah,
Wow.
those
That's
two.
fan.
The AI creator. Oh, yeah,
T, think about it. Controlling the controllables. When these turkeys get ready to go on sale for 25 cents a pound or 10 cents a pound, get 2 of them. Put it in the freezer. You have turkey at
absolutely.
Thanksgiving, have turkey the first of the year.
Yeah,
We got to be thinking survival at this point, because the world
yes.
is switching up and it's happening so fast. Some of us are
Yes,
not
y'all.
going to be prepared.
Fast. Now that's for real. That's something to really, really, really think about, because Amazon just laid off thousands, if I'm not mistaken.
That is
Didn't I have a
correct.
few in the comments? They laid off a whole bunch of people. Amazon. You know what I'm saying? And
Amazon.
Amazon is controlling so many things. All that affirm and all that pay later stuff. Hmm.
And
Amazon is
UPS,
big.
I think UPS laid off 30,000 employees. Meta laid off 6,000. My company laid off 1,200. That,
My God.
so it's a lot. It's a lot going on in the world. And, and
Jesus.
I'll tell you this, Lady T, nonprofits are struggling right now because people they don't have the discretionary cash that they
Right.
used to, and they're not giving, they're not donating like they used to.
Right. Now that's hard. But that's true. And people are keeping what they have. You know what I'm saying? They're not giving because you're scared not to keep it. And then you're told to keep cash. I'm like, what? You know? Then if everybody thinks everybody's keeping cash and money, the government's closed and money's hard, it just doesn't look good. Just be prepared. Prepare yourself, prepare your family while it's day, right? To
Yeah.
say the least. But thank you, Tiffany, for that plug for Audi. That's pretty good. breastfeeding includes a lot of food options for $40. No extra spending at this time. That's
Nope.
very wise. That's
Nope.
very wise. And I'm in total agreement with that.
Yep. No
Anywho,
extras.
Janet, we were also going to talk about or spin the block about because we have talked about so many different topics. And as we close out this year with a bang, we were just talking about how we've already discussed um, narcissists and different people with different situations going on. And we didn't want to spin the block on narcs, but so many people comment and come in my DM saying, "Girl, I've lived with one, and let me tell you this, and let me tell you that." So that's quite interesting. But I'm praying for you. But I look up the definition of that word, and I'm like, "Good grace, is there a little narcissism in everyone?" And there's just some people that's just heavy on that trait. You know what I'm saying? Like they that's got extra doses of it.
It,
I, I
it,
think a little bit isn't just a little bit. No, I do. I
a
do.
little, to a degree, where you're looking out for self. Yeah, I think a narcissist, they just can't see nobody but themselves, and that's what's a little scary.
But then nothing bad about themselves. They can see themselves and nothing bad about themselves. Anyway, girl, we just we was talking about that earlier about that, and also how to plan for later. We were talking about how that we know that if some of our parents or people that we know are aging, right, and having to go in some of them in facilities and things like that. But we're talking about planning and being prepared and at our age, and as we come along and get older, we need to be prepared financially and have stuff written down. But go ahead.
Yeah. T, I think you bring up a really good point about planning. Again, we're talking about controlling the controllables. And you have some people make decisions, right?
Yeah.
And so whatever bed you make, it has to be the bed you lie in. And so, I said earlier, the American dream used to be you get one job, 30 years in, you buy a house, you
Right.
retire, you die. You leave it all to your kids.
Right. Right.
I don't know what's happened with the different generations, but I know with like my grandmother lived to be 84 years old. She
Wow.
died basically of natural causes. They said, she had a it was breast cancer, but it really wasn't. And aunties, don't shoot me if I mispronounce it or misdiagnose, but she had a heart attack and she left here, but she stayed in her house to the end. She was moving a little slow, but she went roller skating every Tuesday. She went out with a bang, right? She had a
Right.
social community with her friends. And now it seems like with our parents' age group, we're hearing more about things like dementia. And that's something that I
Yep.
didn't hear growing up at all. I didn't hear anything about Alzheimer's. I didn't hear anything about dementia. I'll be
No.
honest with you. I didn't even know diabetes ran in my family until my uncles got it. And then that's when my grandma was like, "Oh yeah, well, your granddaddy had it." And I'm like, "Did nobody tell us nothing?" So I don't know if that generation just didn't talk about it, but now
Nope.
that we're faced with dealing with, the different health issues, it only takes one health scare to wipe your whole savings out. You got to save because you never know what's coming around the corner. Again, this is not a conversation rooted in fear, but it is
No.
one, we're talking about controlling the controllables, to
Yes,
the best of your ability, save for that rainy day because you never know when it's coming.
that's exactly right. And healthcare is out of this world, literally. The cost of healthcare and it's just something else to behold. But you're right. Be prepared and it's not too late in the game. You know what I'm saying? And I've also learned too, there's some things like we just didn't know when you said our families didn't talk about diabetes and didn't talk about they they didn't talk about a lot of things. So now when you said that, that made me think. Did they just not talk about the dementia that we're just hearing so much of right now, or it really is in the food? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
I,
Because they didn't tell us a lot. They
I
didn't
know.
share,
Yeah. See,
So Jay,
I honestly think is that generation wasn't as transparent as we were. I don't think this stuff is new. They just didn't talk about it.
that must be it. Cause so many people in now we looking like, why does everybody have it? Have they always had it? Y'all just ain't tell it or just knock it off. They just a crazy person, or they just. didn't know what to call it. Because now when you call somebody an art, they like, yo, y'all just got a new word. We just didn't know what to call it before, okay? So anyway, I tell you, learning about sicknesses and things like that in your family, since you mentioned it, November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and we do have plans to have a nurse that's coming on and just kind of make us more aware of diabetes because we have a friend in the medical. We have several friends in the medical field, but Jay, can you tell them what she told you as far as that 20-year thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Not cute.
So, and thank you, Tasha. I agree. I think that the generation prior to us, they just were not transparent. So this isn't new stuff. It's just new to us.
New to us.
Yeah.
Right, I get it.
But I have a friend who is in the healthcare profession, and we were talking about diabetes one day, and she made a comment. She said, "Okay, a person who is a diabetic," she said, "it adds 20 to 30 years to their internal organs. So if you are 47 and you're a diabetic, your organs suggest that you're 67 years old because it puts such a strain on your body, which is why it's so important to change your diet and do things to try to reverse that prognosis to the best of your ability. You know, you're more prone to have health issues once you are a diabetic. So it's imperative that you're walking, that you're changing your diet, that you're
Yes.
doing things to the best to, to have a better quality of life.
That's exactly right, JT. Paquita writes, they didn't get diagnosed, and the family just thought grandma was getting old and forgetting things.
Yep.
Good point. Good point.
Great point.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Jay, you're correct about that. All
T,
right,
I have a
guys. So,
question for
go
you.
ahead, ma'am.
You own a home healthcare agency. Shout out to Treasures Home Healthcare. Ding ding ding. If you need care for your loved one, inbox us here at Candid Conversations because Tanisha has a home healthcare agency. I told you earlier she's a multipreneur, but
In the
but in
rain,
you
Lord. So,
but in you owning a home healthcare agency and dealing with our senior loved ones, what are some of the things that you see when our loved ones are getting older? Do they have that family support to help them as they're aging?
I don't want to say luckily, but some many are blessed that have family because like where I just I do have the home care agency and I'm just in a particular facility right now, right? Where they're not. Oh, thank you, Ray. Happy birthday to me. Yeah, thank you, girl. But the facility is like 55 and over, so it's not necessarily a nursing home type of thing going on there. It's independent living, right? So um I've seen times when they had that daughter and them daughters coming every week and they on it, right? Those are the I'll apply that. But then there are some that are there and they have nobody. Why? Because they got married and either the husband left them or the wife left, and or they didn't have any children. So I think about it now when people say, and God bless them if they have other loved ones, great. But when you don't have children, I see why God said be fruitful and multiply. Have you a couple of them if you can. If you're married, you can have you some because at least one out of the three should be able, if it's not all three, but somebody gonna be there, right? But I've had some many that haven't had that. It's just so sad to watch because when they go in the ambulance, there's nobody. Yeah, when they're in ER and the emergency department, there's nobody there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they do until they get a Tanisha with treasures. She's gonna be there. So I have found that what counties, Wake, Mecklenburg, anywhere within the hour, 45 minutes, Mrs. Jessica. So yeah, but so having had dealt with a lot of families, and you as a caregiver, that's why my heart goes out to caregivers because as a caregiver, y'all have to really take care of yourselves. Because I wore myself thin as a business owner. I jumped in as an owner operator is what I did because my heart's so big and I love people and I saw a need. They didn't have that. I need to be that. And if I couldn't be that, I'm like, this is why God has me here because rewind the tape. I didn't go to school to be in home care, right, JT? Like I had a whole boutique, right? I'm doing beauty products. I'm like, yeah, what we gonna do? Make you cute? I'm doing hair. I was a stylist, a beautician. Yeah, home care wasn't it. But it's so funny how it happened because my sister was out doing some things in the government. When the government told us to stay in the house and only essential workers come out, I said, "Well, so people, you got to help me out, figure out how I'm gonna be an essential worker because I need to get out of the house." They weren't doing all this then. I was like, I'm like, I'm gonna lose it. So anyway, long story short, God showed so much favor, just laid a business proposal to gave it to me. And they asked, could you handle it? Say less. I've done this. And so I started the business. So fast forward, I stepped in a lot for families, what you were saying, Jay, that didn't have loved ones, that had no one. So my body took a lot, right? My time took, I mean, just it's so much time. I had to go back and tell my son. I mean, I made it all the games and this, that, and third, but hey, I was at the hospital a lot with several of them, but really with the last person that I just had, which I was with her at the hospital due for 52 days. No children, never been married. Mom's gone, dad's gone. She was only 72. So
Wow.
you don't know how, you know what I'm saying? She's only 72, but your immediate family is gone. You know what I'm saying? So be prepared. Just, Tasha said, being an only child and disabled myself, having help concerns me. Yes, same situation, right? Tasha's a young lady in her beautiful young lady in her 40s and having been in a wheelchair, and having an aging parent. It's like it flips. You know what I'm saying? Like a mom is helping her out. And so when something happens to mom, who's gonna be there? But God's gonna work that out. Don't you? Yeah, that's gonna be she has a son who's gonna be 30 soon. So you see, mama, it all is gonna be well. But anyway, back to the matter. If you have a loved one though, in any of those facilities that we come in to help, if you have a loved one, check on your people. Check on your people. I'm big on that. I'm thinking of business right now. I'm trying to steal my idea, but for those families that can't have that loved one, you know what I'm saying? Like that little angel thing that they have going on TV. They show you visiting angels. I'm gonna really be that because I want to be not just there to help them, but be there if they can't be there at the hospitals. You can't be at
Right.
hospitals. You know what I'm saying? We want to be that because my heart just goes out to those people. It's just now I know why God had me to go ahead and say I'm an essential worker during COVID. You know what I'm saying? I've been around so many COVID. I better say the C word. Don't say the C word. I just say big C. Around so many people with that, and God kept me the entire time, the entire 4 or 5 years. So we will be celebrating our 50th year um, at the end of this month. Matter of fact, so praise to God be the glory. I'm telling you, I can go do that. But I love a challenge and I see and I understand my assignment. I understand where God has me. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm not just telling you I show up. I show up, I'm praying, I show up, I'm winning souls. So I know there's a couple of 80, 90-year olds I just headed on up to heaven because I run them to the Lord. I'm proud of that thing, honey. Let me tell you. Anyway, so I know my purpose. And not only just that, y'all. I don't have just 90, 80s. We work with, I have a young man that's 47 we work with. Been working with him for like 3 years. I have people in their 50s. Just depends on what the need is. And we're there. So yeah, hit Treasure Box. I mean, so Treasure Box is my boutique, y'all. But I'm Treasure's home care. treasures, treasures, treasures. Because we want to take care of your loved ones. They are so precious. They're gems.
Yes,
That was
they
my
are.
commercial.
And listen, again, that's why people want to celebrate you and love on you because you are that person. Because again, as an owner operator, you did not have to go to the hospital. You don't have to win people to the Lord as they are transitioning to make sure that they make it in. And girl, I know that there's a special jewel in your crown that he has for you that is going to shine super, super bright. So,
Well, praise God. I'm doing it all for His glory. That's it. His glory. So yeah, but again, check on your loved ones if they're even if they're in the hospitals. We don't. We just saying we just following back up because we've seen even since I've told the story not too long ago about some of my experiences. I've heard and talked to people who are telling me similar stories about their experiences in hospitals and with healthcare. I don't know if people just don't care if they just giving nurses the 2-year ADP degree, I mean 2-year degrees, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's just not a level of compassion or empathy in people's hearts now. I mean, if the Bible's coming to pass, we're not gonna talk about that. And something has shifted. So the care is different. Don't assume,
don't
just
assume.
go check on your people. If you can't, call me. Now I'm gonna have to charge you because it's a business. I'm told you I'm gonna put this in a business plan.
Yeah.
I would love on them. But we gonna be that agency that can't be there. Somebody need to go check on me. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, but you bring up a good point, because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, even outside of since COVID, ooh, the C word, sorry, the C word. You have to be an advocate for your loved one. If you send your aging parent to the doctor by themselves, they will write them prescriptions they don't need. They'll try to inject them with stuff that they don't need that could potentially make their health worse. You need a second set of eyes there and a different lens to hear things, to be like, no, we're not doing that. In fact, one of our girlfriends told us on Friday night that her spouse was battling cancer, and the doctor said that they wanted him to do radical radiation, and she just kept saying, that's too much, that's too much, that's too much. And so because because of her being in his ear, he elected not to go that radical route. Get a phone call from the doctor, he was misdiagnosed. So you gotta have somebody there that's listening from a
Yes.
different
Yes.
vantage point, seeing things from a different lens, so that you don't allow these doctors who again practice medicine. And we thank God for the
Yes.
doctors. We thank God
Thank
for
God.
all of our
Yes.
healthcare workers, because we need them. But in particular for your aging parents, your loved ones, they have to have an advocate. You cannot send them by themselves.
Not at all. And that's it, and that's all. And that was my call. You know what I'm saying? To be there to be that person for people that you know need it. You know what I'm saying? Just just the ones that you know. But if you have a loved one and you can be there, be there, be that person. Evening, Ray. We had Ray on the show not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I'd say we enjoyed you, girl. We got to have you back. Ray is mother of five L's, honey. And I tell you, to have 5 boys, girl, I'm telling you, you're my Shiro. Shiro, you are. So I'll apply that. And again, she gets a lot of help from our girl and our sister in Christ, honey. Her mother, be Mary Ann, honey, because that's the grandma that don't play. No, that's PY. Excuse me, PY. It does not play. So yeah, yeah. So she's a great big help. And thank you again, Ray, for coming on. Y'all, Jay, we gotta go. It's
I
time to
know.
roll. Okay,
I
y'all.
know.
Well, listen, we will be back. Like we said, we're looking forward to having China and Stefan. You don't know, you better ask somebody. Back on next week. And we look forward for you all to come back. Join us. Stay in the comments, like, comment, share. We appreciate you. Y'all have a good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye bye.
It's time for Candid Conversation. Conversation with Lady T and JT. It's time for Candid Conversation. Conversation with Lady T and JT. Check out the show. Check it out. It's time for Candid Conversation. Conversation with Lady T and JT. It's time for Candid Conversation. Conversation with Lady T and JT. Check out the show.